Okay, so I did just spend the last video hyping up React State and how great it is, but we're going to take a quick little detour first to talk about the developer tools. It's worth it, I promise. So up until this point, we've been making our little applications and console.logging things, like to take a look at props, for example. If we wanted to check what was happening in this Pokédex versus this one, we were printing them out, console.log this.props. Coming over here, taking a look in the console. Oh, and by the way, this warning again, we've seen it a couple times now. Don't worry, we're not ignoring it forever. It's just coming later when we talk about events later in the course. Okay, so we've been console.logging, which is not ideal. There's a much better way when we're working with React. So depending on the browser that you're using, if you're using Chrome, you can go to the Chrome Web Store, look for React Developer Tools. These are put out by Facebook. They're not a third-party thing. If you're in Firefox, there's another option, the React Developer Tools, same name. This time, I guess they're put out by React. It's the same thing. And these are for Firefox. Okay, so both of these work really, really well. Basically, they just give you some insight into what's happening in your application, so you don't have to constantly print things out. So click install or add to Chrome or whatever you need to do. I've already done it, but it's just a single click. And then try opening up one of your React applications. So if we come back here, the first thing I should show you is how to find it. So let me expand this quite a bit. It's hidden for me because my font size is so large so that everyone can read it. But at a normal size, it's the last thing. I believe you can reorder these as well. So I should probably do that for this course. So I'll put it right there and I'll zoom back in. But if it wasn't in this bar for you, you can click over here and you would see React. Okay, so now we're in the React Developer Tools, and it allows us to see a hierarchy, a tree of all of the components. So we have our app component, and it highlights the app component on the left. Then I can look at, okay, there's a div with the class name of app, and then there's a Pokegame component. And inside of that, there's a div, and then there are two Pokédexes. So here's the first one, and it's only highlighting that component. Here's the second one. We can keep going. Look at an individual Poke card, which, where do we have? Here's an example, and it highlights the Poke card. But also notice as I click on it, on the right side, it's showing me the specific props. So I can see the props for this individual Poke card, or I could go up to the entire Poke game and see the Pokemon prop, or the array Pokemon, and it contains all of our starter data. So this will be really useful, especially once we start working with state, because state will be changing, that's the point, and we'll be able to see those changes over here without having to print them out. So not only will we see props for each component, if they have them, we'll also see state. Right now, we're not working with state, so we just see props. Okay, so that's all I'll talk about with the dev tools for now. There's a couple other little tips and things that it can help with that I'll bring up throughout the course as it makes sense. Now we're moving on to state in the next video, I promise.